Okay, so Chapter 6 case presentation. Can we trust big data? Biggest question with this is just whether companies can solely rely on big data companies. You know, with social media nowadays, it provides companies with many different aspects and informative information on like what the customers want, what's going on in the world. Social media has a huge impact on data now than it did 20 years ago. So can companies solely rely on this? So a few companies that actually benefited from using this, companies like Spotify use big data. So they use big data to figure out what customers like. This is good because the company can actually get more subscribers based on content they put on their application. They can track what consumers are doing with their music. If a lot of people are saying that they like rap music, Spotify can actually view that as a survey and then start connecting with more artists that put out rap music, and that'll increase their subscribers. Couple decisions that a few companies made: Skyscanner, figuring out what kind of hotels people want. That's just your classic business pairing consumers with hotels for traveling. So a couple decisions they made, making it easier for customers to get connected with that. So they have an application now, and they also use social media once again to see what kind of hotels people are looking for when they go out to travel. Spotify, like I said earlier, using people's browsing history to figure out what content they like, and that leads them into investing into different artists. It's a huge help to them because social media has advanced drastically in our society. Social media has huge benefits because people just put out there what they want and what everything is going on. Some limitations with big data. I think this is an important one. One of the biggest limitations with big data is privacy. You have to be careful with gathering big data because you can easily invade people's privacy. So there was a few scenarios with apps like Facebook and some other social media that had a privacy issue. There was a lot of controversy whether or not, when tracking consumer clicking and what they're doing on social media, how much is monitored and what is actually getting produced to the public. Because obviously social media should not just be used as business, because it's also a very social app. So a big question is, are companies using it for the right reasons, and are these social media apps doing the right reasons as well morally? Should all organizations use big data? I think it depends on the corporation. I think big data is very resourceful for many companies. It allows them to know what people want, allows them to know what people are up to, what's going on with recent news. But like I said, it's a great marketing tool, but they have to be careful. They shouldn't always use it as their sole tool necessarily for marketing. They should not limit it to one aspect. Discussion question 1: what are the advantages of big data, and what are the disadvantages? So like I've mentioned a couple times already, the advantages to big data would be the openness to the world. Companies can see what people want and use it to their advantage. If a lot of people are buying the new iPhone, for instance, from Apple, then maybe Apple gonna increase their advertisements, or Walmart. A lot of people buying a certain brand at Walmart. Walmart's gonna start increasing that, and that company's gonna do it. So there's a lot of benefits to big data. And the answer to number 2 would just be privacy. It's very easy to access too much information on what you're putting out there to the world, and that goes for people in general. Like, social media is very good, but it's also bad in the sense that anyone can view it. So are companies using it for the right reasons? Overall, big data is very helpful to companies because it allows them to have access to more information that will help them in the long run. I think we can trust big data. To answer the question, I think we can. However, like anything in life and in business, everything needs to be monitored and checked up on, you know. I think big data is very successful, but at the same time, they shouldn't only look at that as their only option.